Hi everybody, this is Ariana and today I'm discussing Module 11, Chapter 34, which goes over Genderlect Styles. My concept is rapport versus report talk. Now rapport talk is the conversational style of women which seeks to establish communication with others, where report talk is the talk that men use to command attention, convey information, and win arguments. So my experience with this happened at work yesterday. I work at Randolph Youth Center on the Air Force Base, and I work outside with the children, and they have access to a large play structure which is multi-leveled, and underneath those levels are super shaded, which is a perfect breeding ground for wasp nests. Wasps and kids don't tend to mix, and parents don't tend to like their children getting stung, so I wanted to find a solution for the problem. So my coordinator's newer to our program. He's only been there for about 6 months. And so typically when I talk to him, I try to establish a connection and that relationship so I can come to him more easily with other problems. But because my coordinator is newer to our program, he's trying to establish himself as the problem solver, as the authority. So he was more concerned with solving my problem versus talking about it. So our conversation lasted almost an hour because I was trying to get his insight on how to involve others and come up with a solution. We have a department called CE that could come and tent the area and kill them over the long run. But he was more fixated on trying to get the problem solved today so that the children could play today, which makes sense. But eventually we settled on tackling the problem together, which consisted of us going outside, him taking a broom to the wasp nest, knocking them down, and then running away before he could get stung. It was kind of scary, but we got through it. So now that I've discussed my experience, I will make some inferences. I typically don't like to generalize with anything, especially genders, but I can agree with Tannen's theory about women wanting to build rapport with their talk and men wanting to use talk to report and convey information, which can cause some difficulty in communication between the genders especially. Understanding that these differences are there in those communication styles can actually help lead to more productive communication between men and women if the speaker is willing to be adaptable. Understanding and empathy are traits both shared by men and women, and so both genders could stand to take a little from each other. A little from column A, a little from column B equals perfect conversation, theoretically. So now that I've made some inferences, I'll discuss how these inferences can be used in other situations. So rapport and report talk are used by both genders, especially in the workplace, typically corporate places where women are trying to move up the corporate ladder, or in instances where men are teachers to young children, as an example. So there's a lot of room for growth for both genders in not just workplace instances, but overall, depending on the situation at hand. So again, we want to build shared communication. And so there's growth available in these instances. A lot of this understanding can be learned through things like training exercises. They have those graphs where you learn if you're a feeler or a controller or a thinker and things like that. But just talking to another person of an opposite gender can build this understanding and grow you in this way a lot more effectively and probably more efficiently than waiting for a training or searching on Google. So to conclude with that, men and women do tend to use different speaking styles when building relationships, but understanding this can help a speaker communicate way more effectively if they're adaptable in their speaking style. Communication is a lifelong endeavor, and there's always something new to learn as long as you have a willingness to try. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Have a wonderful Easter. Bye-bye.